जहाँसम्म लाग्छ मैले तिमीहरूलाई हिजो कि अस्ति पढाएको थिएँ र त्यो ग्रुपलाई। हेलो हेलो केही बोला त सुनिया छैन?
हजुर सर, सुन्या छ।
मैले तिमीहरूलाई च्याप्टर फर्स्ट सकेर च्याप्टर सेकेन्ड सुरु गरिसकेर
छैन सर, न्युमेरिकल बाँकी छ भन्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो च्याप्टर 1 को।
च्याप्टर 1 को न्युमेरिकल बाँकी हो। ल लेट अस मुभ टुवर्ड्स द न्युमेरिकल प्रब्लम अफ च्याप्टर 1। numerical problem related to the water budget equation, which we have studied in chapter first. This is the tutorial related to the chapter 1, and the tutorial question number 1. The normal annual evaporation from a lake with a surface area of 1600 hectare area is 3 meter. And determine the average daily evaporation rate in हेक्टर सेन्टिमिटर पर डे ड्युरिङ द इयर। अब यहाँ के भन्नु त भन्दाखेरि वर्ष दिनभरिको इभापोरेसन एउटा एरियाको चाहिँ क्षेत्रफल चाहिँ नि 1600 हेक्टर एरिया छ र त्यो 1600 हेक्टर एरियाको चाहिँ नि त्यो रिजर्भरबाट 3 मिटर पानी चाहिँ डेप्थ पानी चाहिँ के भयो त भन्दाखेरि उडेर चाहिँ वर्ष दिनमा चाहिँ नि उडेर चाहिँ कहाँ पुग्यो त भन्दाखेरि एटमोस्फियरमा गयो हैन। डिटरमाइन द एभरेज डेली इभापोरेसन रेट इन हेक्टर सेन्टिमिटर पर डे ड्युरिङ द इयर भनेपछि त्यो इयरमा चाहिँ नि प्रत्येक दिन चाहिँ एभरेज चाहिँ नि इभापोरेसन कति भयो भनेर सोध्यो है। अब हामीलाई वार्षिक अब त्यस्तो पोखरीको अथवा लेकको चाहिँ नि हामीलाई चाहिँ नि एरिया दिएको छ, लेकबाट इभापोरेट भएको पानीको डेप्थ दिएको छ, त्यसै भोल्युम अफ इभापोरेसन त्यहाँ निस्किन्छ हैन। त्यो कति दिनमा यति भोल्युम इभापोरेट भयो त भन्दाखेरि एक वर्षमा भयो, एक इयरमा यति भोल्युम भयो भने अब एक दिनमा कति भोल्युम इभापोरेसन हुन्छ त्यो निकाल्न पर्यो। त्यो चाहिँ हामीलाई हेक्टर सेन्टिमिटर पर डेमा निकाल्न भनेको छ। त्यही भएर त्यो डेप्थलाई हामी पहिला सेन्टिमिटरमा लैजाने, 3 मिटरको डेप्थलाई के गर्ने त सेन्टिमिटरमा लगायो भने हेक्टर सेन्टिमिटर हुन्छ भोल्युम, अनि डिभाइडेड बाई 365 गऱ्यो भने के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि पर डेको चाहिँ नि इभापोरेसन रेट इन हेक्टर सेन्टिमिटर पर डे भन्ने आउँछ। Here the area of land is 1600 hectare. 1 hectare land contains a 10,000 meter square area. But the answer is must be expressed in terms of hectare centimeter per day. That's why the area of land is not converted into meter square. So we need the hectare. But the annual evaporation rate depth is given by 3 meter in the question, which is in terms of meter. We have to make this meter into centimeter because we need the answer hector centimeter. That's why 3 meter is converted into 300 centimeter. 3 meter into 100, 300 centimeter. Now, volume the water evaporated in a year. Annual evaporation means volume of water evaporated in a year from that lake is area of the lake into the depth of water evaporated. That's why the value will be 1600 hectare is the area into 300 centimeter is the depth of flow, depth of evaporation. Total volume will be hectare centimeter. This will get 4,80,000 hectare centimeter. Volume of water can be evaporated into the atmosphere in a year. But the question is asked per day. Per day, the average value per day in a year we take 365 days. So average volume of water evaporated in a day or per day is equal to total volume of water evaporated in a year divided by days in a year, which gives the per day evaporation volume. This will be 1315.068 hectare centimeter. This volume of water can be evaporated in a day per day. The answer is this. Have you all understood this? Hello? Hello?
Sir, बुझियो.
This is the first question. First of all, you should know what question, what the question is asked. What is the question? What the question wants the result? That must be first analyzed, and then only you can do the problem. In second problem, a small catchment area of 200 hectares. The area of the catchment is 200 hectares. Received depth of rainfall in is 12 centimeter in 45 minutes. The storm of the rainfall is 45 minutes. Time of duration of rainfall is 45 minutes. At that duration, the 200 hectares of land is this catchment area is fill up of water by 12 centimeter. At the outlet of a catchment, the stream draining the catchment was dry before the storm. The catchment area was dry, or the river of the catchment was dry before the precipitation or rainfall, and after experiencing the runoff lasting for 10 hours. The runoff after precipitation, the runoff takes place for the 10 hours. That is, surface runoff takes place by flowing water from the surface of the land for 10 hours with an average discharge of 2 meter cube per second. This 12 centimeter of rainfall creates the discharge of flow as 2 meter cube per second. The stream was again dry after the runoff. This 2 meter cube per second discharge is increase in the stream which catching the drain is again dry after the runoff. When the most part of the rainfall is reached to the stream, and the discharge rate will be 2 meter cube per second. After 10 hours from the end of the rainfall, the runoff discharge will be 2 meter cube per second, and it flows until 10 hours, and after 10 hours the runoff is stopped, and the river does not get the water, and the river again becomes dry. That's why this question is also related to the water budget equation question. And question is asked. This is the condition, and the question is asked: what is the amount of water which was not available to run up due to combined effect of infiltration, evaporation, and the transpiration? What is the amount of water which was not available to run up? That is the amount of rainfall that is not utilized for the runoff purpose is asked for this question. The precipitate water that is flowing from the land to the river is the runoff. The amount of water that is not reached to the river at the surface runoff will be the infiltration, evaporation, and the transpiration loss. That's why we have to find the combined loss of infiltration, evaporation, and transpiration. What is the ratio of runoff to the precipitation? The ratio of runoff to the precipitation is also called the coefficient of runoff for the catchment. If this question is asked as what will be the coefficient of runoff for the catchment, then the answer will also run up to precipitation ratio is the runoff coefficient of that area. That's why in this question runoff coefficient can also be asked, but it is directly asked to find the ratio of runoff to the precipitation. Now, the total area of the catchment is 200 hectare. This is given in the question, 200 hectare. This hectare of land can be converted into meter square by multiplying the area of 10,000 meter square. In a hectare, the area of 10,000 meter square. So 200 hectare contains the area of 20 lakh meter square. This is the total area of the catchment. Now rainfall. Rainfall precipitation is of 12 centimeter. Rainfall is denoted by precipitation. Precipitation is generally denoted by capital letter P, and this is equal to 12 centimeter. This 12 centimeter then is converted into meter divided by 100. The value you will get 0.12 meter. The time of rainfall is 45 minutes. It does not require in this. It is not required in this question, although it is given. Time of runoff. The runoff means the water that is entering into the river which flows for the 10 hours. That is the time of runoff. This is time of surface runoff. You should know this is the time of runoff. Discharge of the river means the runoff water that reaches the river will be the discharge of the river. This is the runoff discharge. This is the runoff discharge per meter cube per second asked in the question. According to the of rainfall. The volume of rainfall will be the inflow volume. Inflow volume will be the precipitation into area of the drainage area. The precipitation is 12 centimeter 0.12. In depth of precipitation into area of the catchment will gives the value of the runoff volume, rainfall volume. You can look here. Rainfall is 0.12 meter and area of the catchment is 20 lakhs meters square. Then you multiply area with the rainfall, you will get the rainfall volume. Rainfall volume, and this is done in here. Volume of runoff. The volume of runoff is calculated by, we have given the volume of discharge of the runoff, and time of runoff. So discharge is given in meter cube per second, time is given in hour. So the hour time is should be converted into second to get the runoff volume R. The runoff volume will be discharge into time and discharge to meter cube per second. Here is the second unit, time is hour, which should be converted into second. Second cancel, the value will be, you will get will be in meter cube. This gives the value of 72,000 meter cube. Now, since we know from the water balance equation, volume inflow minus volume outflow is equal to change in storage. Volume inflow minus volume outflow is equal to change in storage. But change in storage is denoted by delta S, as we already discussed it on the previous theoretical portion part of the chapter 1. That's why the change in storage means the river was dry before the entering the runoff, and it starts flowing with the discharge rate of 2 meter cube per second for the 10 hours. That's why after 10 hours the river again becomes dry. That is, the initial storage in the river water S1 is equal to 0, and final storage will also, the river will dry after 10 hours, then the S2 also 0. The difference between change in storage is equal to S2 minus S1 or S1 minus S2, the value is 0. That's why the change in storage delta S is equal to 0. Initial water in the river is there is no water in the river. That's why river is dry initial stage. That's why the value depth of water in the river or storage in the river is S1 is equal to 0. But after entering the run of water into the river, it flows with the velocity of 2 meter cube per second till 10 hours. After 10 hours, again the river does not get water from the surface runoff. Hence, the river will dry. That's why the final depth of water will also 0. S2 value is 0. Change in storage is equal to S2 minus S1 or S1 minus S2. That value is given by delta S, which is 0. Initially 0, final 0. The change in storage will be 0. Since there is no water in the river before and after the end of the rainfall, so delta S value is 0. Now we use the equation, water balance equation, P minus R plus G plus T plus E is equal to change in storage delta S. The value of precipitation or inflow is precipitation here 240,000 meter cube minus outflow is runoff volume from the river, that is 72,000 meter cube, is equal to minus remaining part of the outflow will be G, T and E. Groundwater inflow, transpiration and evaporation. This is the combined effect. The combined effect of evaporation, transpiration and groundwater inflow will be 1,68,000 meter cube. This is the volume which is not available to the stream for its runoff. This is not available to the stream. This is the question first. A question says that hence amount of water not available to runoff due to the combined effect of groundwater inflow, transpiration and evaporation. This is the first question, is equal to 168,000 meters. And the second question is ratio of runoff to precipitation. Runoff 70,000 meter cube and precipitation volume is 240,000 meter cube. Make their ratio. Yeah, ratio of R by P, ratio of runoff to precipitation, R by P. R value is 70,000 and P value is 2,40,000 meter cube, and you will get the value of 0.30. This is the ratio of runoff to precipitation or coefficient of runoff for that catchment. This is the tutorial number 2. For tutorial number 2, the answers are 168,000 meter cube and 0.30. I will understand this. Hello. Hello.
Excuse me, sir.
The water that flows into the river, that is precipitation, and the water that flows into the river through the surface runoff is surface runoff is estimated using the water balance equation. So inflow minus outflow is equal to this is the basic equation of water budget equation. So this equation is used and find the value of the required question. Now 3 upflow of 5. Hello.
सर नेपालीमै पढौँ न है, इङ्ग्लिस त बुझ्नै गाह्रो भइरहेको।
के हो तिमीलाई बुझ्न? अब यो के हो भन्दाखेरि वाटर बजेट इक्वेसनले के भन्छ भने इन्फ्लो माइनस आउटफ्लो इज इक्वल टु चेन्ज इन स्टोरेज भन्ने हो। यसमा प्रिसिपिटेसन भनेको रेनफल हो है, पानी पर्यो 0.12 मिटर पानी पर्यो है, त्यो एरिया 0.12 मिटर पानी पर्यो भन्ने मतलब त्यो एरियाको सबै ठाउँमा 12 सेन्टिमिटर डेप्थ चाहिँ डुबानमा पर्यो त्यो जमिनमा भने कति भोल्युम पानी पर्यो भन्यो भने त्यो जमिनको एरिया इन्टु डेप्थ गर्यो भने के भयो, भोल्युम अफ रेनफल आउने भयो है। दोस्रोमा भोल्युम अफ रनअप भनेको अब त सर्फेसबाट बगेर त्यो पानी कहाँ पुग्छ त भन्दाखेरि खोलामा पुग्छ। खोलामा पुगेपछि रनअप प्रोड्युस हुने भयो। त्यो खोलामा रनअप चाहिँ 2 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्डको दरले 10 घन्टासम्म चाहिँ बग्छ भनेर भन्यो। भनेपछि भोल्युम अफ रनअप कति भयो त भनेपछि खोलामा पुगेको भोल्युम कति भयो त भन्दा डिस्चार्ज इन्टु टाइम अफ रनअप गर्नु पर्यो। डिस्चार्ज दिएको छ खोलाको डिस्चार्ज र टाइम दिएको छ, टाइम अफ रनअप दिएको छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्डमा छ, यो सेकेन्डमा लगाएपछि सेकेन्ड क्यान्सल हुन्छ। मिटर क्युब भोल्युममा के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि भोल्युम टोटल भोल्युम अफ रनअप भयो। अब बाँकी चाहिँ नि परेको पानी 2,40,000 मिटर क्युब, खोलामा पुगेको पानी 72,000 मिटर क्युब। बाँकी पानी त कहाँ गयो? बाँकी पानी त कि ग्राउन्डभित्र छिर्न पर्यो, कि इभापोरेसन भएर चाहिँ आकाशमा जानु पर्यो, कि ट्रान्सपिरेसनबाट इभापोरेसन भएर आकाशमा जानु पर्यो। बाँकी त लस भयो नि। त्यो लस भनेको के हो त? जिटिई हो है। त्यो बाँकी चाहिँ जुन पानी चाहिँ खोलामा पुगेको छैन त्यो पानी त के हो? जिटिई को कन्ट्रिब्युसन भयो। त्यो हुनाले जिटिई को कन्ट्रिब्युसन चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ खोलामा पुगेको छैन इज नट एभाइलेबल टु द रिभर भनेको छ नि। वाटर एमाउन्ट अफ वाटर नट एभाइलेबल टु द रिभर फर द रनअप भनेको छ। त्यो क्वेसन त्यो भनेको जिटिई को एमाउन्ट कति हो भन्ने सोधिएको कम्बाइन्ड एमाउन्ट। त्यो कम्बाइन्ड एमाउन्ट पहिले नम्बरमा सोधेको हुनाले यो इक्वेसनबाट लगाइसकेपछि यो आयो। अब चेन्ज इन स्टोरेज किन 0 भयो त भन्दाखेरि सुरुमा चाहिँ रिभर सुक्खा थियो, पानी परेपछि 2 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्डको चाहिँ डिस्चार्ज रिभरमा फ्लो भयो। तर 10 घन्टासम्म भयो। 10 घन्टापछि त फेरि रिभर के हो? रिभरले पानी पाएन, रिभर फेरि सुक्खा भयो। भनेको सुरुमा पनि पानी छैन रिभरमा है। S1 को भ्यालु के भयो? सुरुको स्टोरेज रिभरको 0 भयो। पछि चाहिँ 10 घन्टापछिको टाइमपछि पनि रनअप सकिसकेपछि पनि के भयो त भन्दाखेरि स्टोरेज S2 को भ्यालु के भयो? 0 भयो। अब S2 माइनस S1 अथवा S1 माइनस S2 भनेको चेन्ज इन स्टोरेज हो। त्यो चेन्ज इन स्टोरेज त जस्ताको त्यस्तै भयो, 0 को 0 भयो। अनि डेल्टा S को भ्यालु के भयो? 0 हुन्छ। बिकज देयर इज नो वाटर इन द रिभर बिफोर एन्ड आफ्टर द इनफ रेनफल। त्यो भनिसकेपछि त के भयो त भन्दाखेरि अब हाम्रो चाहिँ नि जिटिई को भ्यालु डेल्टा S को भ्यालु 0 राख, पी को भ्यालु 2,40,000 राख, आर को भ्यालु 72,000 राख। बाँकी इफेक्ट भनेको जिटिई को इफेक्ट भयो। त्यसको चाहिँ कति भोल्युम आएको भन्दा यति भोल्युम आयो। यो एन्सर बुझियो। अब अर्को चाहिँ रनअप र चाहिँ प्रिसिपिटेसनको रेसियो के हो भनेर सोध्यो। रनअप यानि सिसिया छ 72,000 मिटर क्युब, प्रिसिपिटेसन भनेको 2,40,000 मिटर क्युब निस्किसक्यो। 72,000 डिभाइडेड बाई 2,40,000 भएर रनअप बाई प्रिसिपिटेसनको रेसियो आयो। त्यो भनेको 0.30। यहाँसम्म बुझ्यो? हेलो
हजुर सर बुझ्यो।
यही कुरो मैले इङ्ग्लिसमा भनेको, अरू के पनि छैन त्यहाँ त। त्यति गाह्रो भाषा बोलेको त होइन। कुरेली बोले जस्तो इङ्ग्लिस हुँदैन हाम्रो इङ्ग्लिस, तिमीहरूले नबुझ्ने भन्ने हुँदैन। 3 लुक एट द क्वेसन नम्बर 3। A flow of 5 meter cube per second enters a 500 hectare river. The discharge is 5 meter cube per second, which enters the reservoir or lake of having area 500 hectare. Determine the time in hours required to raise its level by 15 centimeter. अब भनेको छ के भन्दाखेरि 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड को पानी 500 हेक्टर को चाहिँ रिजर्भयरमा पोखरीमा ठुलो तालमा आएर मिसिन्छ अरे। 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड को डिस्चार्ज 500 हेक्टर एरिया कभर गरेको चाहिँ नि रिजर्भयरमा आएर मिसिन्छ भने त्यो रिजर्भयरमा 15 सेन्टिमिटर डेप्थ चाहिँ बढ्नको लागि कति समय लाग्छ भनेर सोध्यो है। अब हामीलाई डिस्चार्ज दियो र रिजर्भयरको एरिया दियो भनेपछि अब डिस्चार्ज र फ्लो भनेको 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड दिएकै छ। एरिया अफ द रिजर्भयर भनेको 500 हेक्टर, त्यो हेक्टरलाई केमा लानु पर्यो, मिटर स्क्वायरमा लानु पर्यो। 10,000 ले मल्टिप्लाई गरेर त्यसपछि गएर मिटर स्क्वायरमा कन्भर्ट भयो, 50 लाख मिटर स्क्वायर चाहिँ के भयो, एरिया अफ द रिजर्भयर भयो। अब टाइममा फ्लो कति हुन्छ भनेर सोधेको छ। टाइममा फ्लो आवरमा कति हुन्छ भनेर सोधेको छ। त आवरमा हामीले टाइम निकाल्नु पर्यो। लेट द टाइम अफ फ्लो बी टी, त्यसलाई हामीले के मान्यो, टी मान्यो। त्यो टी बराबर वाट भनेर सोध्यो। लेभल बाई 15 सेन्टिमिटर, पहिला रिजर्भयरमा जति पानी थियो त्यो भन्दा कतिले बढ्नु पर्यो, 15 सेन्टिमिटरले बढ्नु पर्यो। डेप्थ इन्क्रिज कति हुने भयो त, 15 सेन्टिमिटर। इन्क्रिज इन डेप्थ कति हुनु पर्यो, डेप्थ टु बी इन्क्रिज इज इक्वल टु 15 सेन्टिमिटर, द्याट 15 सेन्टिमिटर इज 0.15 मिटर। अब यो 200 हेक्टर चाहिँ जमिनमा 15 सेन्टिमिटर चाहिँ नि डेप्थ इन्क्रिज गर्ने रेट अफ फ्लो कति, इनफ्लो कति हुन्छ, 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्डको दरले हुन्छ भने कति समय लाग्छ भनेर पढ्यो भने मैले माथिको क्वेसनमा जस्तो रन अफ भोल्युम निकाल्ने बेलामा डिस्चार्ज इन्टु टाइम गऱ्यो भने के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि रेट अफ रेनफल आउँछ हैन त। डिस्चार्ज के अरे भोल्युममा निकाल्नु पर्यो भने डिस्चार्ज इन्टु के गरिन्छ, टाइम गरिन्छ। भोल्युममा निकाल्नु पर्यो भने डिस्चार्ज इन्टु टाइम गरिन्छ भनेपछि अब डेप्थ निकाल्नु पर्यो भने त्यो डिस्चार्ज इन्टु टाइमलाई त्यो भोल्युमलाई चाहिँ एरियाले भाग गरिदियो भने डेप्थ आउँछ कि आउँदैन, डेप्थ अफ रेनफल, डेप्थ अफ रन अफ, डेप्थ टु बी इन्क्रिज भन्ने आउँछ, डेप्थ अफ वाटर भन्ने आउँछ। त्यो डेप्थ अफ वाटर निकाल्नको लागि डेप्थ अफ वाटर डी निकाल्नु पर्यो, अथवा डेप्थ अफ रिजर्भयर टु इन्क्रिज त्यो निकाल्नु पर्यो भने डेप्थ अफ वाटर टु इन्क्रिज बाई 15 सेन्टिमिटर इज इक्वल टु भोल्युम बाई एरिया गर्नु पर्यो। भोल्युम अफ वाटर इन्क्रिज इन द्याट आवर डिभाइडेड बाई एरिया अफ द रिजर्भयर गर्नु पर्यो। अब भोल्युम अफ वाटर फ्लो इन्टु द रिजर्भयर ड्युरिङ द्याट टाइम टी इज इक्वल टु 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड इन्टु टी गर्नु पर्यो है। भोल्युम अफ वाटर फ्लो कति हुने भयो, 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड इन्टु टाइम टी गर्नु पर्यो। टीलाई मैले सेकेन्डमै राखेँ भने टीलाई आवरमा लाउनु परेन अहिले, त्यो भनेको भोल्युम भयो। 5 मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड इन्टु टाइम टी सेकेन्डमा लिएँ भने के भयो त भन्दाखेरि त्यो बेलामा त्यो भोल्युम भयो। एरिया कति छ त, एरिया क्यालकुलेटेड मिटर स्क्वायरमा छ, मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्ड डिभाइडेड बाई मिटर स्क्वायर गरिसकेपछि त्यो के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि इन्टु टाइम गरिसकेपछि मिटर क्युब हुन्छ। मिटर क्युब डिभाइडेड बाई मिटर स्क्वायर गऱ्यो भने के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि त्यो डेप्थको टर्ममा आउँछ। हामीलाई डेप्थ बढाउनु पर्ने छ 0.15 मिटर। अब 0.15 पनि थाहा छ हामीलाई, इन्क्रिज गर्नुपर्ने डेप्थ। अब डिस्चार्जको रेट पनि थाहा छ, एरिया पनि थाहा छ, अननोन भनेको के हो, टी हो। यसरी क्यालकुलेसन गर्दाखेरि टीको भ्यालु आयो 1,50,000 सेकेन्ड, सेकेन्डमा आयो। यो सेकेन्डमा आएको चिजलाई केमा कन्भर्ट गर्नु पर्यो, आवरमा पत्ता लगाऊ भनेको छ, यति सेकेन्ड लाग्छ भनिदियो। त्यो आवरमा पत्ता लगाउँदा त्यसलाई आवरलाई सेकेन्डमा लानु पर्यो भने 60 इन्टु 60 ले के गर्नु पर्यो, भाग गर्नु पर्यो। 60 इन्टु 60 भनेको आवरमा 60 मिनट, 1 मिनटमा 60 सेकेन्ड गर्दाखेरि 60 इन्टु 60 ले भाग गर्नु पर्यो। त्यो 60 इन्टु 60 भनेको 3680 सेकेन्ड हो। अब यसलाई भाग गर्यो भने 41.67 आवर आउँछ। हेन्स 15 सेन्टिमिटर डेप्थ क्यान बी इन्क्रिज इन द रिजर्भयर अफ 500 हेक्टर इन 41.67 hours if inflow rate is at 5 meter cube per second. This is the answer. Understand this? Hello?
Yes, sir, we understand it.
Now, let us move to the question number. Estimate the constant rate of withdrawal. Constant rate of withdrawal, discharge. What will be the discharge withdrawal from the reservoir? Estimate the constant rate of withdrawal from a 1375 hectare reservoir in a month of 30 days. All this is estimated for the monthly basis. The month contains the days of 30 days during which the reservoir level dropped by 0.75 meter. The depth of reservoir was greater after 1 month. That depth of water is dropped by 0.75 meter. That is, change in storage is decreasing, not increasing, because the depth of water is being depressed or dropped. That's why the change in storage delta S value must be negative, because it is not increasing, it is decreasing. In spite of an average inflow into it was 0.5 million meter cube per day. During this period, average seepage loss from the reservoir was 2.5 meter. The seepage loss was 2.5 meter. Total precipitation in the reservoir was 18.5 centimeters. The total amount of storm water that falls in the reservoir was 18.5 centimeter, and total evaporation was 9.5 centimeter. That is, total evaporation depth from the reservoir was 9.5 centimeter during 30 days. 18.5 centimeter entering water and 9.5 centimeter leaving the reservoir due to the evaporation. This is the question. And find the estimate the constant rate of withdrawal from a reservoir. That is, what will be the discharge of runoff from the reservoir. Estimate the constant rate of withdrawal means rate of runoff from the reservoir. That is, rate of outflow from the reservoir. We have to find the value of runoff in terms of meter cube per second. This is the runoff rate is asked in this question. Now, for this discharge of runoff or withdrawal rate. Withdrawal rate means discharge of runoff from the reservoir. That is, outflow from the reservoir. The rate R is equal to what? What will be the rate of the runoff? R is equal to what? Asked in the question. Reservoir area is given by 1375 hectare. This area can be converted into meter square by multiplying the value 10,000 meter square. 1 hectare contains 10,000 meter square of area. 1 hectare of land area is length 100 meter, width 100 meter. If you multiply 100 meter by 100 meter, you will get the 10,000 meter square. 100 by 100 meter plot is 1 hectare. That's why this area is 1 hectare area is 10,000 meter square land. That's why 1 hectare is converted as 1375 and 4 zeros meter square. Now, time of study. The study is carried for the month. Study is carried for a month of 30 days. Their time was 1 month, which is equals to 30 days. So these days can be converted into second as 30 in a day, 24 hours, and the second will be 60 by 60, and you will get the value of 259,200 second. Change in storage. What will be the change in storage of the reservoir? What will be the change in depth of water of the reservoir? Because the reservoir water is depressed by 75 meter. That is, depth is being decreased. That's why this change in storage will be negative, because inflow is lower than the outflow. If outflow is higher, then the level of the water previous level of the water will be will ultimately drop. That's why delta S value must be negative. Change in storage is negative. Inflow minus outflow, the value must be negative. Hence, delta S is minus 0.75 meter. Depth, in terms of depth, if you change this depth into volume, you will get the volume of delta S will be this depth into area of the reservoir. You will get the value of if you multiply 0.75 and 1375 4 zeros meter square area, you will get the value of 10,312,500 meter cube, which will be the change in storage volume delta S. Now, inflow volume. Inflow rate is given as 0.55 million meter cube per day. This is the inflow from the other rivers to the reservoir. Inflow into the reservoir from the other source of water, not from the precipitation. That's why other inflow may be 0.5 million meter cube per day. This value is inflow volume is equal to inflow rate into time. This is given in per day time. That's why 0.5 million meter cube per day into time of the month is 30 days. Days cancel. You will get the value of 0.5 into 30 million meter cube volume. So this 1 million meter cube contains 10 to the power 6 meter cube volume. That's why after putting the value of million meter cube as 10 to the power 6, you will get the total volume of 15 crore. 15 crore meter cube volume of water will inflow into the reservoir. That's why seepage or groundwater volume. The seepage or groundwater volume from the reservoir, that is given as 2.5 meter. Depth of water is being seepage into the underground soil. That's why the loss of water due to the groundwater inflow G is equal to 2.5 depth into area of the reservoir. You will get the volume of inflow seepage water, volume of outflow from the reservoir. That is the seepage groundwater flow, which is denoted by capital G. The G value will be depth of seepage into area of the reservoir. You will get the value of 343.75 330 meter cube. This will be the outflow from the reservoir. Precipitation volume, it is also the inflow volume from the atmosphere to the reservoir, which is given as 18.5 centimeter depth in terms of depth. This 18.5 centimeter is converted into meter by dividing it by 100. You will get the value of 0.185. This depth is multiplied by the area of the reservoir. You will get the value of the volume of rainfall into the reservoir. Volume of rainfall into the reservoir, that is precipitation volume entering the reservoir. This will be 25.3750 meter cube. Now, volume of evaporation is given as 9.5 centimeter. This is the volume of evaporation from the reservoir, that is 9.5 centimeter. That is the whole area of the reservoir water is rises to the atmosphere by 9.5 centimeter. This depth must be multiplied by the area of the reservoir to get the escape out evaporated water from the reservoir. Here, the evaporation volume of evaporation water from the reservoir is denoted by E is equal to 9.5 centimeter divided by 100, which gives the value of depth as 0.095 into area of the reservoir is 1375 4 zeros. You will get the, after multiplying these two values, you will get the value of 13.06250 meter cube. Multiply by के पाउँछ त यो 13.06250 meter cube यो आयो. Now inflow, again use the water balance equation. Inflow volume minus outflow volume is equal to change in storage. We know the change in storage volume. We know the inflow volume. Inflow volume is precipitation volume, and the inflow from other river to the reservoir inflow volume. The inflow volume will be I plus P. These are the inflow from other source as inflow into the reservoir from the direct precipitation. Are the inflow to the reservoir, these values, both these values are not. Minus the outflow volume will be the runoff volume, ground volume, and transpiration volume also can be mentioned here. But the transpiration data is not given here, so transpiration data is not mentioned here. T is equal to 0. We assume that if data is not provided, we cannot provide the value of T, which is evaporation, transpiration, both of them can be expressed in terms of 9.5 centimeter here. That's why we only consider evaporation. I plus P is equal to inflow volume. P, R, G, and E are the outflow volume. Delta S is the change in storage. You know all the parameters except R. You know all the parameters from this question. You know I volume, you know P volume, you know G volume, you know E volume, but you don't know the volume of R, and delta S volume also no. That's why after put all the values in this equation, you will get the value of R. The volume, find the volume of rainfall in terms of R. If you the volume is determined, the R values volume is runoff volume is determined. This volume is divided by the time of the month. We will get the value of meter cube per month or meter cube per day, or you can month value into second. This value you will find in meter cube, and divide this volume divided by time T, 259 200 second, you will get the value of meter cube per second at the constant rate of withdrawal from the reservoir as runoff. Runoff withdrawal from the reservoir, and we find the R. Find the R in terms of volume and divide it by T. Divide it by T to get the discharge in terms of meter cube per second. Okay, this is the question. Convert all the parameters into same rate or same volume, and find the value of R value in the meter cube volume, and divide that volume by the total time in second. You will get the value of rate of withdrawal from the reservoir as in meter cube per second. बुझ्यौ मैले भनेको यो गरेको? हेलो हेलो, मैले तिमीहरूलाई यहाँ हिन्ट्स दिएको छु, यो जम्मै गर, जम्मै चिज निकालिसकेको छ, खालि क्याल्कुलेट मात्रै गर्ने हो। पहिला आर पत्ता लगाऊ, यसबाट आरलाई पत्ता लगाएर मिटर क्युबमा आउँछ, त्यो मिटर क्युबलाई सेकेन्डले भाग गरेर मिटर क्युब पर सेकेन्डको के भयो त अब रेट अफ आर निस्किन्छ। विथड्रल भनेको कन्स्ट्यान्ट रेट अफ विथड्रल, आर इन टर्म्स अफ कन्स्ट्यान्ट रेट भनेर रेटमा सोधेको हुनाले के हो त हामीले भोल्युममा देखाउन पाइएन, त्यसलाई टाइमले भाग गर्दैछ केमा आउँछ त भोल्युममा, यसको चाहिँ नि रेट आउँछ, रेट अफ डिस्चार्ज आउटफ्लो भन्ने आउँछ, इनफ्लो होइन कि आउटफ्लो भन्ने आउँछ। लुक एट द क्वेसन नम्बर 5। यहाँसम्म तिमीले बुझे जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ किनभने सिम्पलै छ। क्वेसन नम्बर 5, अ क्याचमेन्ट एरिया हेज 4 सब एरियाज। The 4 sub areas are A, B, C and D. The total catchment area consists of 4 areas A, B, C and D. Each area having the each sub area having the area of 10.703 and 8.20 and 17.0 meter square area. This catchment area is I think this is the kilometer square area. The 10.70 square meter is small. I think this is the kilometer square area. Square area. Square mm. Square mm. Now, this is the question for the question number 5. A catchment area has 4 sub areas. The annual precipitation, PPT means precipitation, annual means yearly precipitation, not daily, yearly precipitation. This is the why this. This is the kilometer square. This is the kilometer square area. Let's say now the annual precipitation and evaporation from each of the sub basins are given below. These are the sub basins for the year. Assume there is no change in the ground storage on the annual basis. There is no change in the ground means groundwater is not changed. Underground water reservoir level is not changed on the basis, and calculate for the whole catchment the value of annual average precipitation, annual average evaporation, what are the annual coefficient, runoff coefficient for sub areas and for the total catchment taken as a whole. The 4 questions are asked here. One is find the average precipitation, annual precipitation, find the average annual evaporation, find the annual coefficient of each of the area, and find the runoff coefficient for the whole catchment area. Find the runoff coefficient for each area, and with the help of each area runoff coefficient, find the runoff coefficient for the total catchment area. This is the question. This is the question number 5. That I have already said that the annual runoff coefficient is the ratio of runoff by precipitation. You must know the runoff coefficient is the ratio of runoff by precipitation. You must know that, and we can calculate these things using the question is given in the tabular format. The area given, the area occupied by each sub area is given, annual precipitation for that area is given, and annual evaporation from that area also given in the question. With the help of these questions we can solve the problem. Now I go forward to the next page. Solution. This is the question. The sub area A, B, C, D, area kilometer square, annual precipitation mm, annual evaporation mm. This is given as the question. Up to the column number 4, up to column 4 evaporation, this is given in the question. Now multiply the area by the annual precipitation. Multiply area by the annual precipitation A and B. You will get the value of 10.7 into 1030. You will get the value of 11,021 kilometer square mm. The area is in kilometer square, precipitation is mm. While multiplying kilometers square by mm, the value will be kilometer square area mm. Kilometer square mm will be the unit. That's why it is expressed as kilometer square mm. Similarly, multiply the area with the annual evaporation. Multiply the area with the annual evaporation. 10.7 into 530, you will get the value of 5671. 3 into 438, you will get the value of 1314. 8.2 into 430, you will get the value of 3526. And 17 into 600, you will get the value of 2200. Add all the value of A into P. All the value of A into P, you will get the value of 42991. And add all the value of A into E, you will get the value of 2711. 2711. This is the summation. If you sum all of these values, you will get this. If you sum all of these values, you will get this. If you sum up the areas, you will get this. Are the summation of area, summation of A into P, and summation of A into E. You will get these values. After having these values, you can solve the problem in the tabular format or in the numerical pattern as in the written format. Now, runoff coefficient, runoff is given as P minus E. The precipitated water and infiltrated water, in evaporation water, the transpiration is not here, and infiltration water, that is into the ground. Infiltration portion groundwater is a constant. Asking the question, there is no change in the groundwater. That's why the value of G is equal to 0. That's why the change in storage is 0. Delta S is equal to 0. Value of G also not mentioned here. That's why the runoff will be runoff water will be the difference between the precipitation volume and the evaporation volume will be the runoff volume. That is the reservoir. That is the reservoir or river. Then subtract 11,021 subtract 5671 from 11021, you will get the value of 500. 500 500 or something यस्तै कति आउँछ 11021 minus 5671 110 12 और 7 गते 5 9 बाट 1 बाट 0 12 बाट 7 गते 5 10 बाट 5 गते 5 है ठिकै छ 550 यो कति हुन्छ 550 हुन्छ र 1030 minus 530 इभ्यापोरेसन माइनस यो 0 को 0 3 बाट 3 0 10 बाट 5 गते 5 हैन 500 ठिकै 500 ठिक हो P minus C 1030 minus 530 गरे नि 500 भयो 830 minus 438 गरेर 392 900 minus 430 गरेर 470 1300 minus 600 गरेर 700 P minus C को भ्यालु आयो यो भनेको रन अफ भोल्युम रन अफ डेप्थ भयो हैन रन अफ डेप्थ भयो अब रन अफ डेप्थ थाहा छ प्रिसिपिटेसन डेप्थ थाहा छ भने रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट भनेको रन अफ बाइ प्रिसिपिटेसन हो भोल्युमको टर्ममा गर्न पनि सकिन्छ डेप्थको टर्ममा गर्न पनि सकिन्छ है भोल्युमको टर्ममा गर्न पनि सकिन्छ डेप्थको टर्ममा गर्न पनि सकिन्छ है जसरी गरे नि एउटै हो अब 500 divided by 1030 you will get the value of 0.485 500 divided by 1030 1030 you will get the value of 0.485 this is the run-up coefficient for area A this is the run-up coefficient for area A small r a and for B similarly do in the similar way you will get the value of 392 divided by 830 you will get the value of 0.7472 which will be the run-up coefficient for RB and for C the run-up coefficient is 0.552 470 divided by 900 you will get the value of that and for the 700 divided by 1300 you will get the value of 0.538 these are the run-up coefficient for the respected areas but for the whole area the average run-up coefficient is can be calculated by using the formula that is RA into area of A RA into area of A plus RB into area of B plus RC into area of C plus RD into area of D divided by total area then you will get the value of average run-up coefficient for the whole area this is the run-up coefficient for whole area is taken as is also known as run-up average coefficient which is given by RA into area A plus RB into area B RC into area C plus RD into area D divided by total area of the catchment 38.9 which you will get 0.5149 which equals to 0.515 say this will be the average run-up coefficient this is the answer for 3b this is the answer for 3b now for the first answer annual average precipitation what will be the annual average precipitation now to find the annual average precipitation of the area is this for all the area what will be the annual average precipitation of all these 4 areas you should use the formula area A into annual precipitation of A plus area B into annual precipitation of B plus area C into annual precipitation of C plus area D into annual precipitation of D divided by total area you will get the value of D that is area A into precipitation of A this column is added which is equal to 42991 area into annual precipitation of A, area B into annual precipitation of B plus area C into annual precipitation of C means adding all these columns value. All these columns value, you will get the value of 42991, which is divided by the 38.9. You will get the value of annual average precipitation of the whole area. That will be the answer first, 1105 mm. This value is kilometer square and mm. It is divided by kilometer square, cancel. You will get the value in mm. This is the value 1105. Similarly, average annual precipitation of the whole area means total summation of AE divided by area of the total catchment, summation A. You will get the value of 2711 divided by 38.9. You will get the value of 532.4 mm. 532.412 mm, which can be rounded up to 532.4 mm. All the answers are here. First answer is 11.05 mm. Second answer is 532.4 mm. Third answer is 0.485 RA, 0.472 for RB, 0.522 for RC, and 0.538 for RD. These are also answer. Third answer A part answer, and third answer second answer for the whole area runoff coefficient. You must use the formula RA into A plus RB into AB plus RC into AC plus RD into AD divided by total area A. You will get the value of 0.515. Of this, for calculation this average runoff coefficient, the table is not cannot be placed over here because that's what I am doing in this line, the answer for 3B. Okay, यहाँसम्म बुझ्यौ? मैले गरेको बुझ्यौ तिमीहरूले? यो हेलो, यो क्वेसनले दिएको चिज, यो 4वटा कलममा मैले क्वेसनले दिएको चिज सारेको हो। त्यसपछिको फर्दर राइटतिरको चाहिँ कलमहरु चाहिँ के गरेको त भन्दाखेरि एरिया र प्रेसिपिटेसनलाई गुणन गर्यो, एरिया र इभापोरेसनलाई गुणन गरेको चाहिँ कलम आयो। त्यो जम्मै जोडियो, जोडेपछि त्यो भ्यालुहरु निस्के। अब रन अफ कति हुन्छ त भन्यो भने टोटल रन अफ टोटल एनुअल प्रेसिपिटेसनको डेप्थमा टोटल एनुअल इभापोरेसनको डेप्थ घटाइदियो भने र बाँकी के हो त रन अफ को पर्सन भयो, रन अफ को डेप्थ आयो है। रन अफ को डेप्थ आयो। अब रेनफल को डेप्थ आयो भने रन अफ को डेप्थ डिभाइड बाइ रेनफल को डेप्थ भन्नु पनि के हो त कोएफिसिएन्ट अफ रन अफ हो। अनि प्रत्येक एरियाको कोएफिसिएन्ट अफ रन अफ निकालिदियो हो। अब एभरेज एनुअल प्रेसिपिटेसन निकाल्नु पर्यो भने समेसन एरिया इन्टु प्रेसिपिटेसन डिभाइडेड बाइ समेसन एरिया गर्यो भने के आउँछ त एभरेज एनुअल प्रेसिपिटेसन आउँछ। त्यो भनेको 42991 डिभाइडेड बाइ 38.9 गर्यो भने त्यो चाहिँ 1105 mm आयो भयो। त्यस्तै सेकेन्ड क्वेशनको एभरेज इभापोरेसन भन्यो भने समेसन ए इन्टु ई डिभाइडेड बाइ समेसन ए गर्यो भने के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि यो भ्यालु आउँछ है। त्यो चाहिँ कति आयो 432.4 mm आयो। अब फर सी क्वेशन यू क्यान यूज द फर्मुला आफ्टर फाइन्डिङ द भ्यालु अफ आरए आरबी आरसी एन्ड आरडी। त्यो पत्ता लगाइसकेपछि आरए इन्टु ए, आरए इन्टु ए, आरबी इन्टु बी, आरसी इन्टु एरिया सी, आरडी इन्टु एरिया डी गरेर डिभाइडेड बाइ टोटल एरिया गरेर त्यसले के दिन्छ त भन्दाखेरि एभरेज रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट फर द होल क्याचमेन्ट। इन्डिभिजुअल क्याचमेन्टको चाहिँ नि आरए निकालेपछि बल्ल होल क्याचमेन्टको एरिया यो फर्मुला लगाएर निकाल्ने। बुझ्यो? हेलो
हजुर सर।
ल
हजुर सर।
हेलो ल भन। यो समेसन ए हो है, यो समेसन एरिया इन्टु पी हो। यो समेसन ए इन्टु ई हो है। यही फर्मुला हो नि। यो एनुअल प्रेसिपिटेसन भनेको के हो त समेसन एरिया इन्टु पी डिभाइडेड बाइ समेसन ए। त्यो भनेको एभरेज एनुअल प्रेसिपिटेसन। बुझ्यो है? समेसन ए इन्टु पी डिभाइडेड बाइ समेसन ए गरेर यो एनुअल एभरेज प्रेसिपिटेसन आउँछ है। अब एभरेज इभापोरेसन निकाल्नु पर्यो भने समेसन ए इन्टु ई गरेर डिभाइडेड बाई समेसन ए भएर त्यो गर्यो भने यो एभरेज इभ्यापोरेसन आउँछ। अब रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट निकाल्नु पर्यो भने पहिला यहाँको रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट निकाल्नु पर्यो। यो रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट फर ए इज इक्वल टु आरए बाई पिए गर्नु पर्यो। आरए भनेको छ आरए कति छ 500, पिए भनेको चाहिँ एरियाको प्रेसिपिटेसन भनेको 1030। त्यो 500 लाई 1030 ले भाग गर्यो भने यो 0.55 आयो आरए। आरबी को पनि त्यसरी आफ्नो रेस्पेक्टेडले गर त्यो गरेपछि सबैको यो प्रेसिपिटेसनको के रे रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट आउँछ। यो आइसकेपछि यो फर्मुला लगाउने आरए इन्टु एरिया ए प्लस आरबी इन्टु एरिया बी प्लस आरसी इन्टु एरिया सी आरडी इन्टु एरिया डी डिभाइडेड बाई समेसन एरिया। टोटल एरिया गर्यो भने के आउँछ त भन्दाखेरि यो 0.5149 आयो। यो भनेको 0.515 नजिकैको भ्यालु हो। यो चाहिँ के हो रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्ट हो। यिनीहरुको चाहिँ नि यिनीहरुको चाहिँ युनिट हुन्छ। रन अफ कोएफिसिएन्टको युनिट हुँदैन किनभने रेशियोमा चाहिँ नि अब आर बाई पी भनेको दुईटै एमएम मा नाप्यो भने एमएम के हुन्छ क्यान्सल हुन्छ। यसको चाहिँ कुनै युनिट हुँदैन। त्यो भएर 0.515 भयो। बुझ्यो? हेलो
हजुर सर।
म अब अर्कोमा गएँ अर्को क्वेशनमा। This is the last question for tutorial number 1. This is the last question. A catchment area of 140 km square. The area of the catchment is 140 km square. के हुन्छ यस्तो यो? A catchment area of 140 km square received 20 centimeter of 120 centimeter of rainfall in a year. There the data is given for the year. Yearly data is given. Yearly data is given here. At the outlet of the catchment, the flow is in stream draining the catchment was found to have an average rate of 2 meter cube per second. The rate of outflow is for 3 months 3 meter cube per second for 6 months. Rate of flow is different for different months. That is not same for the same month, and 3 meter cube per second for the next 3 months. This is given in the question, and this value, this data is given and asked to find find these things. What will be the runoff coefficient of that catchment? If the approximation of the catchment reduces the runoff coefficient to 0.50, what is the increase in the abstraction from PPT due to infiltration, evaporation and transpiration for the same annual rainfall of 120 centimeter? This is the question asked in this in this numerical. We have to give the suitable answer according to the question. Now, total area of the catchment is 140 km square. 140 km square area is here. This kilometer square area can be converted into meter square by multiplying this value by 1000 into 1000, which turns to be 10 to the power 6 meter square is the total catchment area. The annual rainfall value is 120 centimeter. That can be expressed in meter, or you can get the annual precipitation P is equal to, this is the value of P, annual precipitation in terms of depth 120 meter. The annual precipitation volume will be P volume will be 1.2. This is the depth into area of the catchment is 140 into 10 to the power 6. You will get the discharge of this 168 into 10 to the power 6 meter cube. Now outflow volume from the catchment, outflow volume from the catchment or stream. This is given as average rate of 2 meter cube per second for 3 months, 3 meter cube per second for 6 months, and 5 meter cube per second for another 3 months. This is the rate of flow is 2 meter cube, 3 meter cube, and 6 meter cube respectively for these months. So volume of outflow from the river or runoff volume from the river for the 3 months, for the first 3 months, outflow volume for the first 3 months at 2 meter cube per second. The volume will be 2 meter cube per second into time 3 months. 3 months is converted into second. You will get the volume of 111552200 meter cube for the first 3 months. And for the middle 6 month period, the outflow rate is 5 meter cube per second. So the rate is 3 meter cube per second, 3, and the month is 6 months. This 6 months they have 30 days, and one day has 24 hours. 1 hour contains 60 by 60, 3600 second. We will get the value of 4665600 meter cube. And for the last 3 months, outflow volume for last 3 months will be is given as 5 meter cube per second. The value will be, you will get 3888000 meter cube. These are the total outlet volume from the river or stream. This is the total volume outflow in a year. Yearly flow of flow volume from the river or stream is R, which is given as runoff volume, which is considered as the total runoff volume. Add all these things, you will get the value of 10108881000 meter cube. This is the total runoff volume. Add all these things, outflow for 3 months, 6 months, and 3 months. A total outflow in a year, you will get the volume. Add all these volumes, you will get the value of 1 10 1000 10 lakh 10 lakh crore 10 crore 1000 10 lakh 10 crore. Why this is happening here? Is it correct or incorrect? While adding in addition, I think it is mistake. While adding the 111552000 plus 4665600 plus 3888000, the value will be different, I think. Let me add again. 111552000 plus 4665600 plus 38880 197 0880. That is mistake. I think this question is wrong. 1 10 1000 10 lakh 10 lakh crore 10 crore. I think this question is wrong because it does not match the inflow and outflow rate, because annual rate of inflow is 168 this meter cube, 116 crore 80 lakh meter cube, but outflow is calculated as 19. This is not possible. Inflow is 168 and this much is inflow, outflow is this much, it is not possible. So let us change the rate of inflow of the last.
Sir, outflow volume for first 3 months is wrong there.
Oh, कति भयो
Yes,
यो?
sir.
कति भएको छ?
Only single one only.
Only single one.
Sir.
360024. Sometimes it happens. 3600 into 24 into 30. 6 180. 180. 15 अगर 10 लाख 10 लाख करोड़ 1552 1552 15552.
Yes, sir.
Value increases why? Crore, only crore. Here, only crore, not 15. Plus. करोड़ 10,000 हजार 10,000 लाख 10 लाख करोड़ 10 करोड़ करोड़ 11,000 हजार 10,000 लाख 10 लाख करोड़ 11,000 हजार 10,000 लाख 10 लाख करोड़ प्लस 4665600 4665600 plus 3888 0 101 that was value was ठीक 101088 Run up is 101088. This is right. I think this is right. Sorry for this. I have done mistake. Calculating data. This is right. This question is right. Okay. Now, after finding the runoff volume, you can find the runoff coefficient as R, small r, which is given by runoff by rainfall. You can express in terms of depth of flow also. You can also you can express in terms of volume. Also, you can for finding the runoff coefficient, you will get the value of R as 10 10 8 8 0 0 0 10 10 8 8 0 0 0 divided by the precipitation or inflow P is equal to 168 and 60. After dividing this value by this, you will get the value of 0.60, which is the runoff coefficient of that area. Outflow volume due to infiltration, evaporation, and transpiration. Outflow volume due to evaporation and transpiration will be the volume of water which is more than runoff from the precipitation will be the infiltration, evaporation, and transpiration. Then subtract runoff volume of runoff from the volume of precipitation. You will get the outflow volume. This volume will be 66912000 meter cube. If the evaporation of the catchment reduces the runoff coefficient to 0.50. If runoff coefficient here is 0.60, if it reduces to 0.50, what is the increase in the abstraction from the PPT due to increase evaporation transpiration for the same annual rainfall? If the rainfall remains same, 120 centimeter, then annual precipitation volume remains same. But this runoff coefficient is decreased to 0.50. Then for the second case, if R is equal to 0.50, and the P remains same, that is P value is equal to 16860, C value is same, and the runoff coefficient from the catchment will be R into P. We know the ratio of runoff coefficient R, small r is equal to R by capital R divided by P. That's why the total runoff from the catchment will be small r into P, which gives the value of 84,000 meter cube. New runoff from the catchment will be this value. Now outflow due to infiltration will be 168,000 minus 84,000 meter cube. You will get the value of half portion of the half 0.50 means runoff coefficient 0.50 means 50% of the rainfall water can be reached to the river. That's why 0.50, the 50% will be 168 minus 840, the value will be 50, that will be 84,000 meter cube. The increase in outflow due to infiltration, evaporation and transpiration between two area cases will be this much value. 84 increase. Further, initial case, the runoff runoff volume is the initial case, the outflow volume due to infiltration, evaporation and transpiration was 6691,200 meter cube. In the later case, the outflow from the infiltration, evaporation and transpiration was 840,000 meter cube. The increase in outflow due to infiltration, evaporation between two cases will be 84. This is the more cases in the more value of outflow in case of second case. That's why 84,000 meter cube minus 6691,200 meter cube, which gives the value of 170,880 meter cube. This is the increase in outflow due to infiltration, evaporation, and transpiration when the afforestation of the catchment area is reduced. Afforestation means cutting down of the trees from that area. Afforestation means planting the forestation. Afforestation means planting the crops or the vegetation cover in that area, which use the runoff water at the transpiration water, which reduces the runoff amount. Hence, afforestation helps to reduce the runoff to the river, and this amount of water can be reduced due to the afforestation, due to the plantation of the plant or green vegetations or crops over the area. This is the answer. Now, I have completed the chapter first with the theoretical part as well as the tutorial portion. This the theoretical part of the lesson chapter first and the tutorial part of this chapter first, I will send it this notes to you on the team in the team group. I will forward it later to you. Now let us discuss. What is the problem you faced during? What is the problem you are facing during this lecture class? Please discuss with me. के छ तिमीहरुलाई प्रब्लम के छ यो क्लासमा चाहिँ के प्रब्लम फेस गरिरहेका छौ? पढ्नलाई के अप्ठ्यारो भएको छ कि बुझ्नलाई अप्ठ्यारो भएको छ कि बोलीमा अप्ठ्यारो भएको छ कि मैले चाहिँ भनेको कुरा तिमीहरुले चाहिँ बुझ्या छैनौ कि मैले बुझाउन सकेको छैन कि तिमीले बुझ्या छैनौ कि मैले इंग्लिशमा पनि भनिरहेको छु, नेपालीमा पनि भनिरहेको छु, जसले गर्दाखेरि मलाई पढाउन चाहिँ नेपालीमा भन्दा अलि इंग्लिशमै बढी सजिलो हुन्छ, किनभने इंग्लिशमा सर्टकटमा झ्यापझ्याप भन्दैछ हुन्छ, नेपालीमा बढी डिस्कसन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ हैन। अब नेपालीमा बढी पढाइराखेपछि तिमीहरुलाई भोलि जाँचमा इंग्लिशमै हो तिमीले आन्सर दिने, त्यो नेपालीको ह्याबिटलाई तिमीले भित्रै हटाउँदै गयो भने तिमीहरुको रिटन स्किल पनि बढ्छ है, अथवा तिमीहरुको चाहिँ नि टकिङ स्किल पनि बढ्छ। भोलि धेरै ठाउँमा तिमीहरुले चाहिँ नि अब अहिले जस्तो नेपालीमा बोलेर म निर्वाह चलाउँछु भन्ने चाहिँ नहोला। कमसेकम अहिलेदेखि अलिअलि ट्राई गर्दै जानुपर्छ, सिक्दै जानुपर्छ। हामीले बोल्ने इङ्ग्लिस भनेको चाहिँ नि कोरियाले बोल्ने जस्तो चाहिँ नि हाम्रो चाहिँ नि ल्याङ्ग्वेज पनि भास्ट वेमा अथवा चाहिँ डिफिकल्ट वेमा हाम्रो हुँदैन। प्रनाउन्सिएसन पनि हाम्रो उनीहरूको जस्तो ठ्याक्कै मिल्दैन। हामीले युज गर्ने वर्ड्सहरू, भर्बल चाहिँ पोजिसनहरू अथवा ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक हाम्रो बोलीमा चाहिँ हुन्छ। भए तापनि हामीले भन्न खोजेको कुरो चाहिँ बुझ्ने भाषामा कम्युनिकेट गर्ने हो, भाषालाई बढी इम्फेसिस गर्ने त होइन। जहाजमा लेख्ने बेलामा यही भाषामा लेख्नुपर्छ, यही भाषामा बुझ्नुपर्छ, बुझाउनुपर्छ। त्यो हिसाब किताबले साधारण भाषामा भन्दाखेरि पनि बुझ्नु गाह्रो हो भन्ने चाहिँ यो ब्याचलर लेभलमा आइसकेपछि भोलि मास्टर्स पढ्ने बेला पनि यही हो। त्यो मास्टर्स पढ्ने बेला त तिमीहरूले त यसरी अहिले ब्याचलर पढे जस्तो गरेर खालि चाहिँ नि सरले पढाइदिने अनि जम्मै सल्भ गरिदिने अथवा क्वेसनहरू तिमीलाई आएन भने सरलाई सोध्ने, सरले गरिदिन्छ अनि यसरी गर्ने रहेछ, यसरी खाने रहेछ भनेर स्पुन फिडिङ जस्तो हो। जब मास्टर्स लेभलको तिमीहरू क्लास पढ्छौ त्यो बेलामा त सरले त खालि अलिअलि डाइरेक्सन मात्र दिन्छ। जम्मै नोट बनाउनुदेखि लिएर मेटेरियल जुटाउनुदेखि लिएर जम्मै गर्ने आफैले गर्नुपर्छ। त्यतिखेर चाहिँ अब धेरै जस्तो चाहिँ प्रेजेन्टेसनका क्लासहरू हुन्छ है। कुनै एउटा टपिक दिन्छ अनि त्यो दिन आएर चाहिँ टिचरले ल अगाडि आएर प्रेजेन्टेसन गर यसको बारेमा भनेपछि मैले पढाएको छैन, मलाई थाहा छैन, मलाई प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्ने स्किलै मलाई थाहा छैन, मलाई आउँदैन भन्न थाल्यो भने अनि त्यहाँ बेइज्जत हुन्छ, अरू साथीहरूको माझमा पनि बेइज्जत हुन्छ, टिचरको अगाडि पनि यो विद्यार्थी त कमजोर रहेछ भन्ने चाहिँ त्यसको मूल्याङ्कन हुन्छ। त्यो हिसाब किताबमा चाहिँ अलिकति फरवर्ड हुन चाहिँ सिक्नुपर्छ है। अब नेपालीमा पढाइदिएँ भनेर मैले नेपालीमा त पढाउन त सक्छु। अब नेपालीमा पढाउँदाखेरि बढी समय लाग्छ, किनभने हामी बढी बोलिन्छ नेपालीमा पढाएपछि, बढी गफर थालिन्छ होइन। त्यो भएपछि बिग्रिन्छ। त्यो हिसाब किताबमा चाहिँ मैले सिम्पल ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा मैले बुझ्ने किसिमले not using the complicated words and pronunciation and the grammar. I am just giving my lecture to you all. That's why it will be better to give lecture in English medium better than that in Nepali medium, which will be fruitful for you all in the coming days too. That's why अब यसरी भएर मैले गरेको तर तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ नि इफ यु डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द वे अफ टिचिङ ड्युरिङ द युजिङ द इङ्ग्लिस ल्याङ्ग्वेज देन आई क्यान टिच यु इन नेपाली अल्सो। नेपालीमा पनि म तिमीहरूलाई पढाउन सक्छु होइन। तर त्यस्तै कम्प्लिकेटेड खालको चाहिँ आयो जहाँ तिमीलाई बुझाउन अलिक बढी कम्प्लिकेसन हुन्छ होइन, जहाँ तिमीहरूलाई बुझ्न अलिकति डिफिकल्टी हुन्छ, त्यस्तो ठाउँमा चाहिँ मैले नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेज प्रयोग गरेर तिमीहरूलाई बुझाउने कोसिस गर्छु। नभए चाहिँ सिम्पल यहीँ लेखेकै चाहिँ नोटमा लेखेकै ल्याङ्ग्वेजले पनि तिमीले त्यसबाट बुझ्न पनि सक्छौ। त्यही भएर बुझाउने कुरोमा चाहिँ कुनै कमी कमजोरी रहँदैन। न्युमेरिकल पनि मैले सकभर सानो चाहिँ नि फर्मुला सानो टपिक्सका पनि विभिन्न भेराइटिजका न्युमेरिकलहरूलाई राखेर चाहिँ नि बुझाउने कोसिस गरेको छु। त्यो अनुसार गर्ने हो। जहाजमा कसरी सोध्छ, के सोध्छ, सोधेको के हो, लेख्नुपर्ने के हो, त्यसको एन्सर मात्र दिने हो। एउटा सोधेको छ तिम्रो नाम के हो भन्ने ठाउँमा म फलानुको नाति, फलानुको छोरा, फलानुको चाहिँ ज्वाइँ, फलानुको फलानु स्कुलमा पढेको, फलानु यति वर्षको म फलानु भनेर चाहिँ एन्सर दिनु जरुरी छैन। तिम्रो नाम के हो भनेपछि माई नेम इज पनि लेख्नु पर्दैन होइन। मेरो नाम चाहिँ नि नितेश पौडेल हो भने नितेश पौडेल मात्र लेखे पनि एन्सर आयो। वाट इज यर नेम भन्ने ठाउँमा माई नेम इज नितेश पौडेल लेख्न जरुरी छैन। हामी इङ्ग्लिस पढेका होइनौँ, हामी इन्जिनियरिङ पढेका हौँ। वाट इज यर नेम भन्ने ठाउँमा तिमीले एन्सर नितेश पौडेल मात्र लेखे पनि हुन्छ है, त्यसको एन्सर आयो नि। अब यसको लागि म चाहिँ नि आई एम द ग्रान्ड सन अफ मिस्टर फलानो एन्ड सन अफ मिस्टर फलानो एन्ड सन अफ मिस्टर फलानो एन्ड फलानो होइन, एन्ड ब्रदर अर ल त्यो भएको हुनाले मैले आजको यो क्लास सकेँ। तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ अब केही कम्प्लिकेसन छ, कम्प्लिकेटेड छ भने यो च्याप्टरमा सोध्न सक्छौ, खासै छैन जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई। अर्को दिन चाहिँ म नेक्स्ट च्याप्टर चाहिँ नि च्याप्टर 2 चाहिँ सुरु गर्छु अर्को दिन। आजलाई यति नै भयो। ल मैले तिमीहरूबाट अब बिदा लिन्छु। ल बाई, टेक केयर। अब कोरोना चाहिँ कोभिड-19 को चाहिँ जोखिम बढिरहेको छ, त्यसबाट तिमीहरू सबै केयर भएर बस। कोही पनि चाहिँ बिरामी नहौ, घरबाट बाहिर ननिस्क, कतै नजाऊ, कसैको भोज भतेर बिहा व्रतमा कतै नजाऊ, सुरक्षित भएर बस, यी शुभकामना छ। ल आजलाई मैले यति नै भने। ल तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ जुन पढाएको स्लाइडहरू छ त्यो तिमीहरूको टिममा चाहिँ ग्रुपमा चाहिँ मैले फरवर्ड गरिदिन्छु, त्यहाँबाट तिमीहरूले हेर्न र पढ्न पनि सक्छौ। जति मैले कम्प्लिट गर्दै जान्छु त्यतिको चाहिँ मैले के गर्छु त भन्दाखेरि च्याप्टर सकिएपछि तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ नोट्सको रूपमा मैले उपलब्ध गराउँछु। त्यो अब एकछिनपछि म गराउँछु, तिमीहरूले पाउँछौ। र अहिलेलाई चाहिँ नि यति नै भयो। मैले रेकर्डिङ पनि मैले स्टप गरिदिन्छु। म मिटिङ इन गर्दैछु, रेकर्डिङ उ गर्छु होइन। त्यसपछि तिमीहरूको चाहिँ नि